Drop a comment, tell me which city you're tuning in from and what name you go by. I'm genuinely curious who's in the room with us today. All right, settle in. Let me tell you what happened to Jason. Jason had always considered himself level-headed. Not possessive, not suspicious. Just a man comfortable in his skin. He'd been married to Emily for 5 years, and by now her eccentricities were just part of the background noise. She'd often say, "I'm weird," like it was a charm. He'd chuckle and let her be. They didn't have children, Emily had her reasons. Something medical she didn't like to explain, and Jason respected that. Honestly, he enjoyed their closeness without the unpredictability kids would bring. They both had careers. Emily worked nights. Jason stuck to the standard weekday shift. It gave them enough income for weekend escapes, fancy dinners, and most importantly, breathing room. It was working, till the night it was. It was their shared day off. Jason wanted to surprise her. He set the mood soft lights, wine uncorked, music low, dinner ready to go. A scene straight out of a love story. Emily walked through the door wearing a distracted look and a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "They just called me in," she said quickly, already changing into scrubs. "Overnight shift. Sorry." "Babe," Jason didn't press. He nodded, even though something inside him felt ... off. Her shifts were set weeks in advance. But he let it slide. That night he stayed in, poured himself a glass, watched a show he barely registered. But his mind kept spinning, then dashed just before midnight a knock. Jason checked the door. There she was. Emily glowing like she'd stepped. Out of a lounge, flushed cheeks, unfamiliar perfume trailing behind her. A giddy smile plastered across her face. Hi, she laughed, wobbling in on heels. She kicked them off like nothing was wrong. He stared. "Weren't you working tonight?" he asked. She paused, then launched into her explanation. "My shift got canceled. I didn't want to wreck your plans, so I met up with a friend." Too smooth. Too fast. Like she'd practiced it in the mirror. She headed for the shower. He followed, pretending to gather her clothes for laundry. That's when the lie came undone. Her underwear stained, unfamiliar, reeking of someone else's night, told the real story. He stood frozen, gripping the fabric. Breath caught in his throat. Then without a word he yanked the shower curtain aside. She jumped, wide-eyed. Not apologetic, just caught. "What the hell is your problem?" she snapped. He didn't raise his voice. "Tell me the truth." She sat on the edge of the tub, back bent, voice flat. "It's been going on for a while." She muttered, "He makes me feel something. With him, I feel wake." She shrugged. "You're wonderful, but too predictable. I can't feel alive in a life that never changes." Jason just listened as the woman he loved dismantled everything they'd built with cold honesty. She said she wasn't leaving. She loved him, but she wasn't going to end the affair either. She'd keep juggling both. If he let her, he didn't. Without saying much, Jason gathered her belongings, carried them to the balcony, and sent them over the edge. Then he opened the front door, still barefoot, robe hanging open, and waited. No screaming, no begging. He just stood in the silence and watched her walk down the stairs. Freedom didn't roar. It whispered cold. One day melted into 7. Apartment was unnaturally still. No clinks of silverware, no scent of morning brew, no footsteps rushing out the door. Jason sat frozen in his chair, eyes vacant, as silence wrapped itself around the space like insulation around grief. There was no fixing it, no undo button. Just aftermath. He started replaying the things he hadn't wanted to see late nights with vague excuses. Sudden shifts in mood, hushed phone calls, that slow-growing emotional distance. The truth hadn't been hidden, he'd just chosen not. To connect the dots, one evening he dug out their old photo album, wedding smiles, 8 roadside selfies, Christmas pajamas, Emily leaning into him like he was the gravity, her world. He shut the book with a snap. The brightness of those memories mocked the hollow stillness of now at the office. He put on the same shirt, same smile. Nobody asked. And he gave no one a reason to. "You good, man?" a colleague asked in passing. He nodded once. What was he supposed to say? I'm thinking about launching her wardrobe off the balcony like it's a telenovela. A month passed. He knew he had two choices: let the rot spread or drag himself back to life. So he started walking at dusk. No goal, just movement. One night, a woman flagged him down, asking for directions. Her name was Sarah, divorced. Her son, Logan, 6 years old, clung to her hand like a lifeline. They chatted briefly. It felt easy, natural. After that, they kept crossing paths. At the corner store, near the swings, outside the school gates, like fate was staging a slow introduction, Jason kept his distance. He'd trusted too easily before. But Sarah didn't demand. She simply existed nearby, solid and soft, letting silence be comfortable. 2 more months? Jason laughed one evening, not as a cover-up, but because something genuinely caught him off guard. The apartment didn't feel haunted anymore then. The call came. Private number. He hesitated, thumb hovering, then answered. A voice, familiar yet foreign. It's me. A long pause. I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I've got no one left. His jaw tensed. That voice used to electrify him. Now it landed like a stone. Go ahead, he said, emotionless. I'm not looking for pity. I wrecked it. He's gone. Said I'm used up. Said you were the real thing. Her breath hitched, and ... I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do. His pulse didn't spike from heartbreak. It spiked from fury. That's not my cross to carry, he said, calm as a blade. You chose your exit. Stick with it. Soft whimper. I'm not asking for anything. Just maybe forgive me someday. He hung up, no rage, no collapse. Just the click of a door finally closed. That night he stood by the window for hours, his thoughts noisy, but his soul still. The fire had burned through. Only ashes remained. Week later, he called Sarah. Want to go for a walk? You and Logan? She said yes. And for the first time in too long, Jason stepped out not as a man grieving, but as someone ready to live again, and honestly, quietly, and beside someone who asked for nothing but presence.